Good afternoon. I wish I could be recording this while walking, but I injured my ligament or something in my thumb and my wrist. I'm not sure how, but I did, so I struggled to hold my phone. That's why I'm sitting in the car recording this. So I'm busy going on a journey to master my emotions and my emotional control. But this is really strange. I I watched the video last night, and the guy said that I must look at the not the camera but at the time display when I'm recording. But it's really weird. So, but I do know also that in my videos I tend to look away or all of those things. So I'm gonna try and look at that for as long as I can whilst I'm talking, and if not, please forgive me. But anyways, so I'm on a journey to master my emotions and get control over my emotions fully. Not let them dictate my actions, my thoughts, or responses, anything like that, right? Not become some heartless person, but just someone that can continue through any event and come out on top either way, right? So while I'm going through this whole self exploration journey, if I could say that, I've I've started remembering a lot of past experiences and memories that I've actually shoved down for years. In fact, things that I thought would never come up again. But as I'm figuring myself out and continuing on this path, these things they do to intend to come up. And I've noticed that the way that I react to those memories now and the way I would react to that memory 2 years ago, or if that event were to happen again today, is worlds apart. And it's great. Seeing the mental and physical progress that I'm making every single day, step by step. It's really it shows me that I am capable of doing the things that I told myself I wanted to do. I am capable of essentially being a man of my word, which is great. It gives me a lot of confidence for the future. But what I've also noticed is that I'm much more serious than I thought I was. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it isn't also necessarily a good thing, right? Don't get me wrong, I can enjoy myself. Obviously, I'm a human being. But when I see certain videos of people intentionally being clowns on the internet, I find that somewhat repulsive. But I also think that isn't just me being too serious, that's just me being mature, if you could say that. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't even know if I am too serious, honestly, now that I think about it as I'm recording this video, because I laugh a lot. So I'm not always just, I'm not nonchalant, if you could call it that, right? I care a lot more than I've told people I do, right? And that doesn't bother me. I always try to come across as this person that, you know, that's you and I don't care. I always try to come across as nothing bothers me, right? But things do bother me. I'm human, okay? But I always used to pretend like I didn't care, but in fact, it would eat me up inside. Whereas now, I acknowledge that I do care about XYZ, but I have a better emotional control over myself. So I acknowledge whatever it may be, and then realize I can't let that affect the outcome, which is, in my opinion, a much better way of dealing with things, right? And emotional control doesn't mean that I'm suppressing anything at all. It means that I'm coming to terms with it by realizing that it's a temporary emotion. And I can't let this temporary emotion ruin something for me or potentially ruin something for someone else, right? So instead of getting angry, I get angry internally and get control of myself before I execute any action. That's in my mind a much healthier way of dealing with things, instead of potentially getting angry, saying you don't care, holding a grudge, or getting angry and then just trying to apologize later. That's, in my opinion, two of the worst ways to handle any situation with any emotion. Right? Happiness is much different for me. I think happiness can just be displayed openly. I don't think there's, of course, there's, I guess, limits to everything. I don't know. I'm not a professional. I'm just literally saying what I'm, like, off the top of my head, saying what I think. This video is really long. Shit. I'm gonna have to make this a YouTube video. That's okay. I'll record with my left hand and go for a walk. So that's honestly it, I think. Or it's not, but I don't want to make this video too long. Emotions are very, very, very big part of someone's personality. You know, you see someone that's angry and you automatically think they're angry most of the time. You see someone that's happy and you think they're happy most of the time, right? You see someone that's sad, same thing goes on. Someone that shows fear in a situation that you might not find fearful, you're going to think they're more of a coward than you, right? So emotions have a much bigger effect on people internally and externally than we realize. So that's why I truly believe getting control over your emotions, whether that's fear, anger, sadness, lust, envy, joy, all of those things, disgust, judgment, the list goes on and on. Having control over your emotions and how you react to certain things. You can react internally however you want, right? But what you put out is what matters. And eventually, controlling that output is gonna change the internal as well, right? I can see a fat person and think, oh, they're fat. I'm not gonna say it though, right? But as I came along the past weeks, I see a fat person and think nothing of it at all, right? So I can prove from experience that if you are controlling your output, you'll eventually control the inner self as well. Like, I can talk from experience when I say that. But then I think that will be it for this video, for this YouTube video. I'm gonna record a reel now, I'll go for a walk. So then that's it for this video. I hope you have a great day further and a great evening. Yeah. Goodbye.